bambino.
Macarena.
Deo!
Hi, Max. How are you?
I'd be better if you guys would quit yelling.
Your request has been rejected.
Your request has been acknowledged by 1/2.
Oh, God. So Ash is a Pokemon fucker.
I really doubt that's what they meant.
Well, there's Latias in the background. Did you see it?
What the fuck did I come into?
Wait, what do you mean the Latias is in the background?
Did you not see the Latias?
Why is Latias hanging in the window like that?
Yeah, literally,
Wait.
there's a Latias in the background, so it is literally the final
Oh my
moments
god,
of
it's
Pokemon.
looking through the window.
Is
That has to be
Latias?
Photoshop.
No, it's real. Yeah, the final moments are Pikachu and Ash in the tub, and Latias watching them. My man is fucking some Pokemon.
He's not!
Gross.
You degenerate!
All the girls have been cucked. Latias was the true waifu, apparently.
I hate all of you.
Well, I mean, it could be, you know, one of those Pokemon that's actually humanoid. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
I mean, apparently Latias can fucking transform, so...
Oh, wait, is that the one that transforms into a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine then.
Die.
So-
see, Atin's exposed to that meme.
So, Max and Atin, I know you two are not the dumpster divers of the manga world, so you might not know of this manga. But we did talk about it on Science Server.
Oh
And-
no.
So before we get started tonight, I did want to briefly cover it in another attempt at getting Sign to write this story.
Oh, God, what now?
Because Sign was being horny on Maine,
Okay.
As usual.
as usual. And he was being horny in general, as usual,
As usual.
as he was watching Eminence of Shadow.
Can you blame me?
Which, I mean, to be fair, most of the side cast, decent. But let's see, where was this?
I think it was in
Moth-
general.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. I'm just trying to find Moth's posting of the name of this story. Oh yeah, is it tough being the best friend? Which I'll post here as well, just in case you guys end up actually want to reading it. So this is another take on that whole, the main character is obsessed with being a side protagonist, side character to the real protagonist of the story sort of shtick.
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing this trope a bit in visual novels over the last year.
Yeah.
Like they they would never go for a side character like me or something.
Yeah. So this is a guy who's on the same level as Sid, who not as delusional as Sid and not as obsessed with magic. He's fine living his modern AU without magic. He's just on the lookout for the real main character of the world story, which happens to be this character named Ryuga. And it's this seemingly guy who constantly skips out of class and, you know, comes back and he's got some wounds on him occasionally, and, you know, he always comes up with some wild excuse as to why he had to leave.
Looks like a delinquent.
It quite literally, it was all of the tropes of like it was almost very American in how many tropes they had in there of like, oh yeah, the kid sneezed and came up with some bullshit excuse as to why they had to go out because now they got to go fight the zombie ghosts that are invading.
He told them to leave this place.
Sorry, I'm allergic to dumb fucking plots.
Okay, but that's not the point of the plot. The point of the plot is this guy finds the true main character of this person and contrives the whole storyline around being their side best friend, and then it turns out that they're actually like a Power Ranger superhero. And they're like, oh shit, now I gotta fucking figure out how do I fit into the Power Ranger subplot? Fuck, okay, so it's actually...
a girl.
Oh yeah, then it turns out the main character's a girl. He was attracted to her.
Yeah, I mean, that's just par for the course at this point.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, overall, I give it like a good 7 out of 10 in terms of amusement.
Also, I want to say, internet disappointed. RE4 has been out for 2 days, and I haven't seen any Chris posting. Get on that.
No. But anyway, so the point, though, however, is Sign was getting pissed about how oblivious Sid is to all of the women around him that were definitely horny on main for him.
Yes.
Frustrating.
And so my response was clearly the only way to fix that in a way that's believable as to Sid's character is to just get a character that is literally as bad as Sid, but's the main protagonist. And so that's Ryuga. And as they have the main protagonist aura, they would literally fit all of Sid's requirements to be the main protagonist of their story that he can be a shadow to. And, but basically it all works out. The plot works out because literally between the two of them, you could quite literally write fucking anything happening in the story, and it would just go. It would be fine. Between these two dumbasses. And so yeah, that was the entire distilled concept of our conversation last night as he continued to be horny on main for questionably aged. You're still watching
it.
Oh, nice. What episode are you on now?
14, starting at 15 tonight.
No, nice. You're about to so the final episodes are actually pretty fucking good, and personally, I feel the final episode of season 1, I've seen a lot of people bitch about it. I thought it was masterfully done. I had the hats off moment to them.
So what does season 1 cover? Because I read all the light novels.
Season 1 covers up until them breaching the first sanctuary and Perv Asshat, and I guess you could call it the initial arc with Perv Asshat. The final episode was including the tournament part of that one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like, honestly, it was masterfully done. Great use of music, great use of a fucking cold closing, too. And I'm just like, okay, whoever is behind the storyboarding for the animation team, 100 out of 10. Honestly.
See, the thing that I appreciate, right, because I did listen to some of the voice acting, and credit to the voice actors, or at least whoever was giving them direction, because they understood exactly what the author was intending when he wrote the names. No one even right? They don't try to make it sound like anything else. They just say, Perv Asshat.
Or yeah, I'm a try and not lose. I am a try and not lose wins again!
Like,
unfortunately, only gonna make it this far has lost.
It's so dumb, but like,
It's so
Yeah.
stupid, but the author's like, he knows what he's doing. He
I-
yeah, well, I
knows
would
what
say that's the
yeah.
thing,
has
right?
been made.
The author was intentionally doing it, and he had right, like he was inserting them excellently, and also I want to say credit to whoever did the genuine credit to whoever did the English translations because they got the jokes,
yeah,
right?
they understood the jokes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because especially with something like Japanese, like right, like if the author had written a bunch of like puns in Japanese
Yeah.
that like, oh, if you line the name up, it means perv asshat. No, just what's his name? Perv asshat.
Yeah.
Is that like a euphemism or no?
No, he's just an asshat.
No.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good. I will say that overall, the humor has done a fairly good job of being translated. I don't know if that's in the hands of the translators, because I also originally watched the fan subs of the manga, and it was the same there. So I don't know if this is just happens to be a universal understanding between all of the fan subbing and the official subbing, or if this is a scenario of the author didn't beat around the bush and didn't try to do the funny hiragana and just was just straight up just like, yeah, so here's the joke.
If you listen to the names when they announce them, they are the name.
Yeah.
There's another case of it where he goes to reading book names and even mentions the title of the series in English that the elf herself, that Beta wrote.
Right.
So the author's not, he's just being blunt with it.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is I think this might actually be a case of the author actively thinking about how it translates into English for a lot of these names.
Could
And
be.
then a lot of their jokes
Because, yeah,
because
like
they
Susan said,
translated so well, I
they
can't
aren't
help but
doing
think,
the funny
yeah,
hiragana.
yeah. So
Like someone was playing in English.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So overall, I would say definitely the humor translated a lot better. It was a lot less cringy to me. A lot of the humor in there, because you didn't have to deal with like. So I was reading a manga recently, and well, it was a manhwa because it's, Korean or whatever. And they had this like whole big moment where one character is like, "I shall present you with a white flower," and they're like, "Oh," as if it was like some big insult. And then they had to at the translator at the end of that chapter had to basically add 2 additional pages to that chapter to explain how offering someone a white flower in the manner they did is in Korean culture a meaning that you think they're poor and couldn't afford to put flowers on their own coffin when they die. And it's just
Oof.
like,
Okay.
yeah, and it's like, I'm sure there's some Americanisms, I'm sure there's some Americanisms that probably go completely over my head that don't translate well to other cultures or languages when it comes to some of our comedy.
Well, it's not even necessarily stuff that doesn't translate well, like referential as hell, like
Right.
cement overshoes or anything involving a Chicago typewriter, like
Right, no, exactly. And I understand that there might be some things here and there that I just don't quite get, or that I already understand fundamentally, and so therefore, I don't pick up on that it's an Americanism. But shit like Friends is a very popular show across the world. It's considered a very funny show across the world, and a lot of the humor got translated quite well. Same thing for Seinfeld.
Neither of those were funny.
Some people have weird opinions, but it got translated quite well across multiple languages. So clearly there's a degree of humor that does cross the boundaries for those shows. And I don't know. I feel like American humor in general, when it isn't referential, kind of just translates well because they're trying to aim at such a wide cultural audience.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's not that I would say that it's American humor specifically. I would say that it's just the nature of writing universal humor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
Yeah.
Americanisms have spread so far that everyone understands a lot of them now
Oh,
too.
that's also
That's very
also
true.
Yeah,
um,
that's fair. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's always been a minor issue I've had with mangas and manhwas, where they just use, especially manhwas, where they just use like the most niche sub humor,
but
referencing.
here's the problem, Sneaky. A manhwa is not written for you to consume.
Oh, I'm aware. I know, but I'm saying it's just kind of just like it really loses a lot in the translation. Because I'm just kind of sitting here, I'm kind of just like, okay, why is this character being insulted by this, like, whatever this person said? They said they would give him a flower. Why would... I don't get it.
And that's the kind of thing where you need a translator to step in, right? Because, like, I'm sure, right, if they just said, even something like, here, put this flower on the coffin I'm gonna buy for you, or some shit.
Right, yeah, and I mean, like, you can get through that sometimes when it comes to Japanese humor, because they do a lot of the, this hiragana looks like this katakana, which, makes the funny noise or some shit. And I've seen a decent job done when it comes to translation, where, they do sort of try and mix in the references without explaining the whole joke by changing some of the dialogue to be more like, oh, you punk, you're like a fucking strawberry. Oh, what did you call me? I'm a guardian, not a strawberry. It's kind of like, okay, there's clearly, so you can tell there's some sort of like joke going on there, but it's like not fully translating. Because because it's referencing the characters of the language, and it's kind of just like that'd be like me making a vowel joke to like a Polish person.
Making a what joke to a Polish person? Sorry?
A vowel joke, IEOU. I know I might scare him away if I make that kind of joke.
I mean, that's not really Poland, that's more Romania. Yeah.
I'm sorry, have you tried to pronounce Polish names before? There's like only one vowel in them, and that's I. And they use it twice.
Oh, one vowel.
Of the 20 letters.
Your talk of like translation, how like on the adaptations reminds me of like how I think Bobobo handled it. They went ham and had some fun with it to the point like they knew some of these jokes would not translate well, so they played around that.
Yeah, they got extremely clowny. Yeah, Bobobo did it well.
We're just gonna have the announcer shitpost every second.
In manga, offering someone a bowl of rice with chopsticks sticking straight up is an offering to the dead, implying you're going to kill the person it's offered to. Yeah, stuff like that. It kind of just like it doesn't cross the cultural boundary, which makes it rougher. And yeah, I get the Asiatic area is not exactly the most global of thinkers. So is what it is. Ghost Stories did a good job. Yeah, you know what? I will give you that. Stories.
No, hang on. Ghost Stories did not do a good job.
They did not. They
went full shitpost and just went random.
Ghost Stories
they went ham.
Did a terrible job on purpose. There's a difference.
Okay, but that's like
it didn't do a good job, Sneaky. Like none of the original story actually.
They did a -8 out of 10. Okay, so it's like the horseshoe scale of it went so bad it became good.
Which
I'm
one
not
is
gonna say you're wrong, right? I want to be clear. Ghost Stories is
the one
funny.
where
It's one of the first things I ever watched.
It's same.
Funny.
They lost the script essentially and said, "Hey, voice actors, go ham." So it's just a bunch of improv and ad-libbing in the English dub.
It's great.
Yeah, they went full ham to the point that they would never be able to do that again.
I guarantee you've seen at least 2 or 3 clips from that show and just not
Probably.
known what it was from.
Yeah. Again, the thing with Ghost Stories is, like, they got the rights to the animation, and then the company that made it, something happened to the company that made it, and the script was lost forever. And so then the company was like, well, crap, we licensed this, but we don't have the script, and we're never going to get the script, but we got to air something. So they stuck it on the safe harbor hours, and we're like, all right, voice actors, say whatever the fuck you want. There's ghosts.
As long as it lip syncs, it's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, no, Underplayed. I didn't skip your earlier comment. I just couldn't fit that into anything I was talking about. Anyway, so yes, Fanfiction 2006. Let's go, boys. So Underplayed says Rebecca Costa Brown, being a teenager with cancer, is a perfect target for an isekai story. It's just the reincarnation heads don't know about the time stop, so when the trucks try to reincarnate her, the drivers end up in their own isekais instead.
Oh, wow.
The truck drivers are now in isekai.
That's already been done, actually.
Hey, Bob, what do we do today?
Space trucking.
Now, here's my problem with that. Japan never writes Americans correctly. They either write us.
No, that is false.
They either take America too far, or they don't take it far enough.
I mean, with truck drivers.
One exception is Metal Chaos.
Whoa. Americans too far. There is literally no limit. Sir, we reinvented the book on war multiple times out of boredom.
No, Sneaky, we reinvented it multiple times to protect the greater world order, which happened when we were bored.
No,
I feel like you just did the same thing twice.
No, I'm quite lit on. I'm talking about shit like, so, standard operating procedure with the NATO forces was to throw a flashbang into a room before you clear it, so, you know, obviously everyone in the room is blind, but you're not, right? Yeah, Marines thought this was too slow, so they just started chucking frag grenades, and when everyone got used to the NATO forces using flashbangs, they see the grenade come in, they go, oh, we'll cover our eyes, and now they're dead because shrapnel shredded them. And then everyone was like,
flashbanging them is too humane. Just fucking throw an actual bomb in there.
Yeah, exactly. The fantastical shit like that is, yeah, we've literally rewritten the code of combat multiple times out of boredom.
Decent sites, they had to launch an investigation as to whether they were executing prisoners because they started getting too many headshots.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, good lord, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Executing prisoners.
They thought we
were getting too many headshots.
We were too accurate with our soldiers, and so everyone thought we were fucking executing prisoners because we kept reporting so many headshots. Yeah.
I think they switched to ACOG sites, and yeah, they started drilling holes cordlessly in foreheads.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Sir,
impressive.
we need you to stop getting headshots. Why?
You are too accurate. Yeah.
I like that they started an investigation because they were having a skill issue and just couldn't believe it. Actually.
This looks to be a skill issue on your part.
I'm reminded the Olympics where we would just take any random person and give them a gun, they perform better.
Yes, that is the joke for the shooting competition, which, amusingly enough, was a little bit close to true, which is why the joke was made. Because it's just like, oh yeah, these other competitors have been training to shoot their entire lives. And the American Olympian is a hobbyist. And they got a gold.
Ironically, that hobbyist probably had more range time.
Probably.
As a hobby. 100%.
Yeah.
Let me video.
But yeah, no. Gold Lewis Dixon, 100%. This is how you should appropriately portray every American in any manga and
Our
anime.
glorious Secretary of Defense.
The Secretary of Offense.
Excuse you, the Secretary of Absolute Defense.
Yeah, I don't know where you're coming at with that take of yours. I've never seen an American in a Japanese manga I did not like to some degree.
Oh, also, yeah, Senator fucking Armstrong. Like, I'm sorry, but like, come on, man.
Yeah, even the villains are kind of
If
fun.
your antagonist is someone that the American people would actually actively vote for, I think you have a problem.
I still love that. It's like, oh, we gotta make Tanya even more ridiculous and hardcore because the overseas audience keeps liking her. Well, overseas
they like her more?
audience likes her even more. I don't understand. I'm making her more extreme and commit more war crimes. Why do they keep liking her more?
Because as it turns out, Arthur, we sort of invited the Nazis for tea after World War II.
Listen.
That's why.
Listen. All I'm saying is, listen, America pioneered war crimes on our own soil, on our own schmucks.
I like to call it war crimes on your dime because, they're acceptable casualties if you might have thought they were all combatants.
Oof.
I saw a Tanya in a Berserk fic recently. Did being X go too far?
That depends. Does Tanya retain
that's
same
the question.
power set?
That is the question.
Yeah, if Tanya obtains the fucking power set, that's something. I don't know. Berserk is one of those series that it's kind of just like introducing more shit to. I feel like it's just gonna drown out any attempts at ever finishing the story.
Well, yes. Even the creator didn't finish the story.
I know.
I am incredibly depressed.
You are depressing, so.
Rude.
You know, I've somehow managed to miss Berserk entirely.
I somewhat did. I kind of started trying to read it, and then I was just like,
I think I picked up enough secondhand through memes and stuff. Like, I've got the important parts. Like,
yeah.
Griffith is a horrible person. Guts, just, Lord, that boy needs a break.
Guts is just really a poor bastard.
Guts just needs a single break. That's it. Just give him one day off.
No.
Someone writes a story where Guts is allowed to have one lucky day.
Well, no, didn't that happen canonically when he had sex with the dark girl?
Yes, and then everything is that technically spoilers?
No one cares.
It's years old. No one cares.
Literally, the next fucking day, everything goes to hell.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's when Griffith enacted his plan and did the whole...
Yeah, it wasn't really a plan as much as it was desperation.
Speaking of desperation, let's get started with our first fic of the day.
We don't have to.
Oh, yes, we do. So this is a Bleach fanfic called Remnants. Orihime is mourning for Ukiura a year after he died, when she finds out there is something in the sands of Hueco Mundo. What? By the way, I just love Bleach, and it's just like bad Spanish for everything that is hollow involved.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
It's great. You shut your mouth.
And then it's just like, oh yeah? Well, where are we getting all these names from, apparently? It's like, oh yeah, Chad's grandfather, question mark, maybe? It's like, what do you mean Chad's grandfather? Yeah, Chad's grandfather is like some Aztec living in Japan? Just like, what? Oh, alright.
What do you mean he taught them broken Spanish?
Yes.
Yes, my two weapons shall be called the Devil's Fist and the God-killing Giant Puncher. It's like, okay, Chad. Hey, you do that.
Hey, listen. He's allowed to do what he wants.
He's basically a lucha libre without, the mask.
I mean, he gets a mask eventually, I think.
Too bad he gets fucking power creep.
Yeah.
I don't recall a mask at any point.
No,
actually.
I think his whole upper body gets covered in his spiritual goo, during the 1,000-year blood war.
Spiritual goo, really sneaky, really.
It's sneaky. What do you expect?
Well, what do you want me to call it? The white stuff?
No, that's what China has done with blood. So now every shootout looks like an entirely different kind of scene.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. Truly, the Chinese are on the cutting edge of editing video. What will happen when a certain Iran car magically returns? But her friends obviously don't approve of her relationship? What will happen when our dear Orihime, who's effectively a fucking time god, we're just gonna ignore that part, I guess, falls in love with the Iran car? Well, first off, heretic, purged.
Yes, she clearly falls in love with Rangiku, and they somehow have children.
Well, no, I'm just saying anyone that makes Orihime not love Ichigo, heretic.
Yes,
they are actually heretic.
Correct.
Be gone.
Yeah.
The Emperor's judgment be upon you.
No, I didn't really like Orihime. She was too bland.
No,
What?
we're not saying we like her. We're saying anyone who has her loving anyone but Ichigo is incorrect.
I'm not saying that they are the one true ship or anything. I'm just saying Orihime's entire character motivation is about Ichigo.
It's literally just
Ichigo.
I really fucking literally I like Ichigo so much. I'm literally able to sacrifice myself.
Literally got time powers and reversed causality out of her love for Ichigo. It's gonna be a real hard sell to say that she falls in love with someone else. Come and join us on this adventure. No. Orihime times Ukiura, totally safe for work, very slow development. So it's so slow development, yet she's somehow off the bat already in love with him. Okay. Sure, buddy. You do you. Understandably, this story, despite being published with multiple chapters, 13 whole chapters, over the course of the past 10 days. I'm not really sure why you're posting that fast, but whatever. They have a whopping 5 favorites. Yeah. Yeah.
You know that shit age.
Yeah. A vengeful protector. After defeating Aizen, the Goatee 13 do the unthinkable and obviously betray Ichigo. I mean, that's not really unthinkable. Everyone kind of saw that one coming. Like, if they legitimately made that the plot point, not a single Bleach reader would be surprised.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who were the 13 again?
The antagonists for half the series.
Yeah,
the captains.
Yeah.
Oh.
The literal afterlife organization that Ichigo busted in and destroyed
beat
a
up
lot
their
of
members.
For some reason, I was
times.
remembering the fucking. What the fuck was the name? It was the fucking filler arc between the actual 2 endings.
The Fullbringer arc?
Yeah, the Fulgrims. There we go.
Those are not filler. Those are real.
I thought there was 13 of them. That's why I was confused.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
The Fullbringers are literally half that number.
Yeah. You're just dumb.
But
hey.
Yeah, man. You. It sure was lucky that they didn't turn on Ichigo there, even though the old man 100% is a spiteful old bastard who would have done that.
And Hat and Clogs absolutely would have pulled some shit. just because, and Ichigo lost his powers.
They literally gave Ichigo a badge that could strip him, or I think seal or restrain his powers if he went rogue.
Yeah, no, that too. Yeah, I think that was actually a thing they did to him. Is that the reason why he gave up his powers? They didn't do anything to him is because he actually ended up losing his powers or something, and so they didn't think he was a threat anymore or some shit.
Yeah, they basically cut contact after he lost his powers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until Kujo came back and was a threat they decided, yeah, we'll give him his powers back.
Yeah. So, him being betrayed by the Gote 13 is literally not unthinkable. It's quite thinkable. It's actually almost scheduled.
Yeah, the only thing that would be unthinkable in that would be certain members turning against him then.
Yeah. Like specifically, like all of them like just stabbing him literally in the back at the same time. You know, Rukia is like fucking shanking him in the front. Yeah, that would be unthinkable.
No, to be fair, Rukia is the only one who wouldn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That would be unthinkable. I'm saying the organization as a whole being like, okay, Ichigo, we're gonna do a fucked up thing to you now because we're dumb.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we read the same manga, Atin? Because she's not the only one in that squad.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Game & Watch would totally be like, whoa, hang on a second, this kid literally saved our asses. Why are we stabbing him?
Yeah, that's fair. He's pretty chill.
Game & Watch.
I can't remember the name, but you know who I'm talking about.
I do. I do.
Shinsei Kusara or something?
Anyway, years later, they find out that he's somehow still alive. What?
I mean, Ichigo is stubborn enough he could survive death.
Okay, but what kind of betrayal do you do as the afterlife gods to make sure that someone isn't fucking dead? Like, I'm
Probably
sorry,
going like, oh, you are now disintegrated, but it just actually warps him.
Well, no, okay, the problem is that they 100% would have been like, alright, so we killed him. You're guarding the entryway for souls for the next, like, 200 years.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry, so you kill Ichigo, and then you're just like, yeah, I know we, like, killed Ichigo, guys, but let's not wait around for his soul to come to the Soul Society. We'll just, like, assume he's dead, and no longer a threat, I guess. Question mark.
That's some Bond villain shit.
Actually, with how powerful it was commented that his soul was, the bigger warrior would have been him coming because of Grim. Or not a Grim, wow. It's a Hollow. It's like...
it's basically a Grim, so...
Alright, you know what?
Yeah.
I might be interested in the story if it was like, they found out he's back. What do you mean? Yeah, so he became a Hollow, and then evolved with a mask, and is now doing a Huecamundo 2 Electric Boogaloo.
He's now doing Huecamundo 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I mean, right now I'm just trying to think how this whole thing could play out.
Great.
And, like,
well, thanks for that, Max, because now my brain's just fucking, like, doing the really shit meme edit of, like, the disco colors and, like, a thumping house beat, and Ichigo's just there dancing.
Get out. I hate this image.
I'm glad I can infect you all with it easily.
Death be upon you.
But no, but seriously, like, I can understand in any other scenario if you, like, betray someone and you, like, you shoot them and you're like, all right, well, they're dead, so we don't got to worry about them anymore. But these guys are literally the death gods of the afterlife. How the fuck do you not make sure someone died?
The only way I can think of how this played out and they miss it is that what did they do in season 1? They break his soul thing or whatever and basically he loses
his soul
powers?
chain. Yeah.
No, it wasn't his soul thing. It was, I forget what it was.
It was pressure points on his soul or some stupid shit that they never mentioned again.
And they leave him to stab him to death and they presume his soul kind of just faded and is in the cycle or whatever. Maybe
right. But
that's the closest I can suspect.
Right, but that's fine and all, except for the small problem of that early on was like, all right, well, we're just gonna dispose of the evidence or whatever, and "Hey, Lamau, fuck this human." Like that was the reason why they just let him bleed out effectively, because they weren't invested in him dying. They were just like, "Hey, Lamau, die," I guess. Well,
Perish.
yeah, perish.
You should perish yourself
But
now.
this time around, they are objectively betraying him after the defeat of Eisen, and they are assumedly attempting to genuinely kill him in this betrayal because they are shocked to find out that he's still alive later. So
of course, why they thought it was a good idea in the first place doesn't make sense, but fanfiction.
First off, that's like literally half of the decisions the Goatee 13 makes in canon. So,
what, to be retarded?
Yes.
Yeah, Sneaky has a point. They make that decision quite often.
So, I mean, you can't really use that one. But, I mean, if you're going to betray someone as a death god of the afterlife, you would assumedly make sure they at least die. Because you would be able to check on that by the fact that you could see their soul. So
you're talking stupid again, Sneaky.
Yeah. I'm not really sure how people are surprised. Like, is this a case of, like, they just kicked him into, like, a gargantua, whatever the fuck it's called, and they're like, well, he's just gonna go fall forever, so he's probably dead? I mean, if that's the truth, then I can buy that. I can, they just, like, kick him in the edge of reality, and they're like, he's probably dead. That I can understand.
Kicked him into the hole in reality. And
Yeah.
then he came back, so...
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that.
That would be fine then, because, I mean, we know how difficult it is to get out of that. His dad was like, yeah, this is near impossible, kid. We've got a short amount of time. Don't screw this up.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And anyway, so they find out he's alive, and they want his help to go genocide the Quincy again.
And he's just like, no.
Sorry, they want his help.
Yeah, they want his.
What they did?
So yeah, they find out he's alive, and they're like, "Hey, great, Ichigo, so glad you're alive. Look, so we gotta go do some genocide boogaloo. Do you want to help with that?"
I can imagine every single human that's ever known Ichigo would be just like, "Fuck you, Quincy War now."
And so anyway, the author proceeds to go on and say, "But will Ichigo help them, or will he watch them burn?"
All right, listen, if this is the Ichigo that we all know and love, he'll watch them burn. Possibly help them burn.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on where his precious ones are located. I guess you could use the Naruto term for it. If he has if he has a single person on the Quincy side that could be targeted by this purge, he'll fucking kill all the Goatee 13.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. There's a good chance he may just help them too, because it's like, well, technically speaking, you guys are family, and you didn't try to kill me. I guess.
Yeah. So we have In Love's Shadow, which is going to be really cringe and clearly written by a woman. An accident at the 12th Division throws Renji into the arms of a stranger, but their night of mindless passion has an unexpected result that tosses their lives into chaos. And when Renji's playboy tendencies result in a life-threatening situation for Tetsuya and their baby, Renji learns the true meaning of love and family, male times male, male pregnancy, Renji times OC, and for some reason, just out of fucking nowhere with a steel chair, Byakuya times Ichigo.
The fuck did I just get flashbanged with?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just out of fucking nowhere with a steel chair, Byakuya times Ichigo.
Fuck you. Everything you stand for.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. Here we go. Up next is Virtus Sanguinis, a Bleach vampire AU, so I could have a poly love triangle with chess vampires.
What?
And Dehap your clan leader with a god complex and a vampire hunter who's hunting that booty. And Kasuke and Ishigo are bad bitches, but them both women with the drip.
I beg your
You have
pardon?
said words. I request you no longer say words.
Ichigo times Urahara and Aizen.
Woman with the drip. Really?
What the fuck?
If that's any words I'm gonna use in one of my stories.
I what the fuck? This is what I'm talking.
Process.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. When this is like, this is like hyper. This is like the. Alright, so someone linked me something a while back, and this is the only way I can describe it now. So let me find that real quick. Yeah, here we go. Here's faux fiction. So there's this graph here. Look at this graph!
Okay.
Makes me laugh.
Yeah, so copy link, paste this link here. So we got faux fiction here, passionate hatred. What I can only assume is peak passionate hatred for the Bleach story is what results in a vampire AU where nothing's taking place in the afterlife. Everyone's a vampire or a vampire hunter. Ichigo's a woman with the drip. And it's a love triangle between the Dampier army, the vampires, and the vampire booty hunters.
The what?
Vampire booty.
And so I can only assume this is maximum faux fiction. Because the author clearly hates Bleach and wants nothing to do with Bleach.
No, Sneaky, I think you have it completely backwards.
How?
They love it so much they want to turn it into something else.
That is not how this graph works.
Yes, it is. It's under the also, but listen.
Okay, but why though?
No, I don't. No. I
They're
don't
not
see it.
fixing anything. They're going, okay, this is awesome, but I want to use my ideas and their characters. It's fan fiction.
Yeah, no, that's what we call taking a hammer and fixing the cannon.
Nope.
I like the best I can word this myself is like this feels less like they actually like canon. They only like the faces and the names.
They like the
image.
popularity of the story.
Yeah, which is why I'm arguing that it's
This is
taking a
maximum
hammer to
faux
fix.
fiction. Yeah.
I check his favorites. $10 says 90% of his favorites are fucking Bleach shit. This boy is a Bleach fanboy.
Doesn't.
It totally is.
I don't really see how that invalidates what we're saying.
Alright.
You like garbage.
Oh, Jesus.
He's not liking what he's
He
saying.
discovered something. Something about the author, apparently.
Oh no, I see what he means.
Yeah.
The actual fuck.
Link it.
No.
Just look on the stream.
Link.
No.
Come on, send me a link.
Literally
look
will not.
on stream. It is
I don't know the
cursed.
stream.
Yeah. So they
I see.
have 39
see.
stories. Yeah. Yeah. A majority of their stories is in fact not Bleach stories. Okay. It's a lot of self-insert. I'm a girl in this world, and I got the powers. Yep. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to say right here and now, your whole theory about this person is wrong in quite literally every fashion.
Really?
Yes.
That bad?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Your basis of why they're doing what they're doing is just entirely wrong.
Post link.
Yeah, no. For the sake of not having to ban you tonight, I will not post a link to their profile.
God damn it, Sneaky.
Yeah. So we're going to leave it at that. Cherry Blossom Memories. A hollow attack and the Rukon guy leaves a teenager injured. The lieutenant who intervened offered her a deal. Guard his teen son while he's away, and in return, she'll be trained by the family. Friendship and more begins to blossom. But will these budding feelings survive tragedy that cannot be spoken? There is a reason as to why adults smile when they see the cherry blossoms. Okay, I guess. A hurt comfort drama featuring a female OC and Byakuya.
Perish?
Yeah.
Yes.
We live in different worlds. Ichigo is a single father.
Why?
That's hard to chew on.
How did this occur?
Yeah. His life changes when he meets a high-class receptionist and girl boss
What?
named Rukia.
Oh, it's a
What?
stupid. It's a high school coffee shop AU whatever.
No, it's literally like a post-college modern AU
No, I mean
powers.
when I say coffee, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
none of it's actually real, and there's nothing to do with Bleach, and it's all just stupid.
It's just all the female fantasy. Yeah. Yeah, because Rukia would be 100% a girl boss who would act exactly the same, having gone through the Japanese employment system. Yep, 100%. Yeah, her personality would be just unchanged. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Except that it's not even remotely. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Stop using logic.
I can't knows.
That sounds like a skill issue.
So let's see. Fahrenheit. Figehite?
Figehite?
I guess. Ichigo times Rukia. Post canon. Ichigo. Infidelity?
Infidelity.
Infidelity.
If Ichigo had been brave and ignored Renji's words of thanks, maybe his life wouldn't be chaos. If Rukia had asked Ichigo why he walked away from her after the final battle, she would have never married Renji. A marriage, a family, and a life they didn't want out of cowardice, a dark secret out of cowardice. So Ichigo's cucking Renji. That's the purpose of this story.
You know what? Ichigo should have run up a Rukia anyway. Fucking fight me.
No, I agree with you. Like Orihime's nice, but Rukia is an actual interesting
But
character.
Rukia is the best girl. Yes, exactly.
I mean, listen, I knew it was never going to happen, but I was the one rooting for Rangiku to stop pining after the useless short stack captain who hates her, but...
I will say,
fucking half pint.
I will say I'm actually getting fairly a decent amount of amusement out of a DxD story. It's by Giordino. And in it they have Sona, the school president, Devil Girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And she is trying to how to phrase this? Court, air quotes, the main character who's an OC that is, has a twice critical. So very unsuperpowered.
It's George's typical SI.
Yeah, strength through the power of sheer gains instead of just being overpowered. Yeah. But she's trying to court the main character, by being an overly strict bitch to him, and then pretending that she's letting him off easy by then allowing him to do whatever he got in trouble with doing earlier, right?
Oh, I see. I mean...
Yeah.
I can see her doing that.
Here's the thing.
The problem is,
I understand, right, the theory behind it. If I trick him into thinking that I'm letting him off because I like him, or, well, no, you're not tricking into, I think he's going to get in trouble, and then I let him off because I like him.
Right.
She's abusing her power for him.
Right, yeah. Except not actually though. See, the small issue with this fantastic plan of hers is that he sees constantly her just let everyone else get away with the shit that she's trying to come down hard on him for. And so it completely loses any wind when she's like, oh, I'm going to come down hard on you for, missing 5 minutes of class. Oh, but I'll let you get away with it this time. And he in his head is just like, bitch, I literally just watched you ignore 3 students making out in that corner over there and then run away with their skirts off just so you could come over and scold me for being 5 minutes late.
Oh, okay. It looks like she's pulling pigtails, or the girl version of it.
Yeah, she's trying to pull pigtails while she has a position of power over him to try and court him to become part of her peerage. And it is having the exact opposite effect. And like I say, it reminds me of the Rangeku Ice Kid dynamic. Except something actually happens because of it.
Uh-huh.
It actually goes somewhere, and that's why I'm like, I like this because you're just waiting, you're reading this story, and you're like, oh, it's gonna blow up in her face, and it's gonna be fun watching it happen.
Oh yeah, it sounds like a glorious disaster.
Train wreck waiting to happen.
Yeah. Max, do I want to even click on this and read this?
Click on what?
Though.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Don't. Just
I feel like for the good of everyone, we should just skip over that one.
I'm not sure which one you're...
This one, Iris.
When one pretends.
Yeah.
I don't need to be hearing your fellas' spicy takes on that shit.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
For the sake of the stream not getting canceled.
Yeah.
Who's Iris again?
No one actually. It's the
title.
title of the story.
No, I'm sorry. Masagi. Who's Masagi?
His
I have
mom.
no idea.
Ichigo's
Oh,
mom.
that's his mom?
Yeah, Masaki.
Oh, wow, that makes it even worse.
Oh, I thought that was his sister.
No.
He had Yuzu and Karen.
Yeah.
Those are his sisters.
Yeah. Anyway, so 8 months, 1 week, and 2 days. Grimjaw poured another glass of alcohol and tilted the funny, stupid liquid into his head. I think you're sexually frustrated. And Ichigo had always been nothing but a handsome, sexy, dorky idiot.
Oh my fucking god! I come back to this.
I can sense the AU.
700 days of AU. Ichigo times Rukia one shot.
I hate you.
I'm just curious, why the fuck is involving Grimjaw? Because it starts out sounding like it's like a gay
Yeah,
Grimjaw story.
It starts
And
off,
then
it's like Ichigo's in a gay bar, but actually he's currently married to Rukia and in a happy relationship with multiple children. It's like, wait, what?
It's like freaking with the steel chair, just Ichigo Rukia.
It's like, words with the steel chair!
You know, they may have been trying to bait a certain audience in. Then hit them with that whammy right there.
Maybe. What the fuck? Why is Ichigo wearing Sans and Papyrus as armor?
That's his hell armor from the Hell movie.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, wait, yeah, no, that's the armor he got from the Hell movie. The I forget what they're called, the Kushinada or whatever.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
They granted him his the power temporary, and he sealed a sinner in hell or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Oh wait, was that actually finished? I thought that was just literally one chapter, and he just never wrote anything else.
It was a movie.
Yeah, it was a
What
movie.
the fuck? It was a movie?
Yeah, it was a movie.
Huh.
Yeah. God, these are also Sakuto Aizen, younger brother of Sosuke Aizen, coming from world dealing with beings known as hollows and obstacles. Sakuto's biggest was the one person who shouldn't be obstacle, his eldest brother. Now Sakuto Aizen, younger brother of Aizen, faced with many dilemmas, along with meeting new people, facing new challenges, begins his adventure. So you're just gonna
yes, I have
piggyback
a brain
off of
hemorrhage.
Aizen? Yeah, we're just gonna piggyback off of Aizen, I guess. Yeah, so we're just gonna go to a different section because the Bleach section fucking sucks.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
I mean, no offense. I could have told you that. You didn't need to come here.
I will come wherever I please.
Do you come from afar?
No, but I do come from down under.
I see.
God damn it.
No, listen. That's one of my favorite dumb internet jokes.
Curse of hatred, will of fire. Madara dies at the Valley of the End. Now, Madara is a hollow and has tits.
The fuck you say?
Nani?
Okay, those aren't tits. That's just a really proportioned body. That's a weirdly proportioned. Okay. He is forced to contend with the supernatural. Some supernatural things want him dead. Others want to exploit him. Will he be consumed by the curse of hatred, or can Konoha's will of fire transcend the boundaries of life and death? Relationships will be forged and severed, and the entire world will shatter by the journey's end. So yeah, this is attempting to fuse Ichigo's death world with Naruto of the Clashing Clans era.
No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No. So yeah, we're gonna go to Dancer of the Moon. Esmeralda, age 18. Oh boy. Okay. lives in central Los Angeles, California. She and her father are poor but work to get by with money. Yeah, that's typically what you do. One day, she meets a playboy named Sosuke Aizen, who witnesses her pole dancing and takes an interest in her. However, Sosuke Aizen is not the only one interested in her, and she will have to deal with the One Piece pirate crew.
The fuck?
What?
I
Well, where's this going?
I don't know. This story will be a crossover of Bleach, One Piece, Full Metal Alchemist, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hellsing, Rosario Vampire, and Castlevania.
I must request that you leave my poor boy Quasimodo the fuck out of this.
It's not Quasimodo being pulled in, my guy. It's Esmeralda being pulled in.
I mean, if Esmeralda's showing up, Quasimodo has to show up too. But either way, leave them both
you
out.
underestimate fanfiction writers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everyone's her
Yeah.
Quasimodo.
That's fair. But listen, leave Esmeralda out of it and leave Quasimodo out of it. Esmeralda deserves a couple bad things. She doesn't deserve to be in your shit fanfiction.
Leave the boy alone.
No surprise at all. There is a single review, a single favorite, and a single follow, despite this story having 29 chapters, 57,000 words, and has been updated continuously since January 12th when it was posted.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. Holy shit, guest review! Holy...
Whoa. Not even an actual review.
Guest reviewer says,
Oh,
do
no.
yourself
Oh,
a
wow.
favor and stop wasting time on this story and do something productive.
Whoa.
Damn.
Wow.
My man pulled out the low tier god speech for this man. Fuck.
Oh god.
Look who it is.
Where?
A little further down.
Oh?
The butterfly Kurosaki effect.
Oh, yeah, this guy again.
Yeah.
Ichigo, yeah, that's okay. Yep. We've apparently covered that story before, too. Oh, which means the author has only gotten worse since then. So let's see what we got here. We got Bleach Unlimited Bankai Works because couldn't come up with a better name. I am the bone of my sword, says Ichigo Kurosaki, as he has to find a way to save his friend from being executed. To do this, he must recover his powers and find out what his Zanpakuto name is. However, this proves challenging as there's two different people claiming to be his sword spirit, and one of them is Amiya, and the other is Shiro, and the third is Shiro Muramasa.
Why wouldn't Muramasa be there?
Oh, good
Fuck
Lord,
you!
He put Shiro Amakusa, the Shiro who isn't even the actual Shiro.
Oh, okay, different. Okay.
Wait, no, what? Huh?
Yeah, the character list says Amiya, Shiro
Kotomine.
Amakasu, who was like the fake. Yeah, Shiro Kotomine, who was the fake in Apocrypha, and Muramasa.
Yeah, because he was actually Amakusa Shiro from history, and he just happened to share a name with Emiya.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Why is he still there? He's not.
He's Ichigo's soul now.
Why?
Yeah. So we have all three different Shiros that are showing up in Ichigo's soul, telling him that he is the real sword of Ichigo's soul.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah, it's incredibly stupid. Also, it's like, so Gray approached me this fine afternoon with an idea of his that I told him was really fucking dumb, and he said, "Yeah, this is an aura tier stupid idea." I was like, "All right, we'll keep it there." He said, "Understandable." That involved the main characters of FGO and Fate Extra, both dying in their respective universes, but their main servants were Russian Tamamono and Tamamomo, respectively.
Okay, yes, the Fox Lady.
Yeah, and the Russian version of her.
Yeah,
and then they both show up with that version of with Tamamomo and Russian Tamamomo, and they both show up in DxD during the Kokabili arc.
Just
Oh
none of
no.
those show up.
Gray told me the basics of this idea. He did not say that.
Yeah. And I was just like, this sounds dumb. Sounds really fucking stupid. And a mess and pointless. And this is basically the equivalent here. It's like, what is even the point of this story? So what, Ichigo runs around with everyone else's sword that he can barely even use? And if he can use it, he's now a master at using it, and so he... What? He doesn't move faster than them. Like, that's the main problem, is that he can copy the fighting instincts all he wants. He can't copy the speed and strength that 90% of the cast use. You know?
Yeah, unless you want to have fun and have it tear his body apart, but that won't.
Oh, sure. I mean, I guess, but yeah, again, it wouldn't last long. And it's like, what's the point? What does this actually change in the Bleach storyline? Nothing. Except maybe actually, Ichigo can't defeat Aizen now because he's not half hollow, half Quincy.
Therefore, he loses.
Yeah. So I guess congratulations, you lose.
You lose.
I don't know. It's like I told Gray, I don't know what the point of that sort of story is. Like, what? Like, you wouldn't even really get the humor out of it because, like, the whole premise of the story of wouldn't it be funny if everyone freaked out about there being two Tamamomos in the world when everyone already hates Tamamomo in DxD? And I was like, yeah. She's like some sort of super evil fox demon creature that got sealed away because of how evil she was in the DxD world.
I see.
Yeah, and he was like, so wouldn't it be funny, everyone freaking out that there's two more now?
That would be very haha funny, author.
And I was just
Please
kind of like,
continue writing this. It is not cringe.
Not really, Gray.
Thank you, Rokaldorn.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Rokaldorn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I thought that's what you were trying to be, but I guess like Rokaldorn, you're not funny.
What is this funny?
Vice Captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, a Bleach One Piece story.
Oh, fucking.
A man who was reincarnated as Goldie Roger when he was young with power of Haki and Ryatsu in an era of pirates sailing in search of One Piece. But what he didn't know was that his existence made certain people fall in their minds.
Just
what?
No, next, move on. Nothing of value is being said here.
Check, please.
What?
Not even funny.
Hybrid summoned to New World. This is a Bleach failure frame light novel crossover.
Can we, author,
That's
please
it.
just...
That's the summary.
Stop.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Bleach crossover. Haven. Yeah. May Bishop is a foster parent and homemaker, and for some reason in Japan, and for 7 years maintained her teaching job at Karakura High. She lives ordinary life within the confinements of the unique town of Karakura. It was a haven, but nothing lasts forever. Ichigo, Rukia, and Self-Insert OC.
And Ninja Turtles.
I assume the Ninja Turtles show up, I guess.
They don't have to.
They're probably around somewhere.
Ichigo never meant for weird things to happen to her. Oh, to her. But they just did, and then she became God, and after living in the Divine Palace for so long, she got bored. And the world had changed last time she walked on it, but maybe that was a good thing. Although, maybe she really should have been warned about the stupid dynamics first. My Hero Academia Alpha Omega World.
Read the last part of that summary, Sneaky.
I am. Alpha Toshirino Yagi times Fem Omega Ichigo.
Yep.
Yeah, the god of reality is an Omega. Okay. Yeah. I know the quotes in the Bible, I am the Alpha and the Omega, but I'm pretty sure God wasn't saying that he was a sub. Fairly certain, at least.
I think that's some Omega-verse shit.
Do we have any religious scholars in the room we can confer with on this one?
I'd really rather not discuss this.
You don't want to discuss the recent comic book that he tried to make about Jesus Christ?
Oh, God.
Yes, exactly.
No. I think I'll be happier off.
Yeah.
Never knowing.
Yeah. A hybrid DXD. Ichigo's journey in the world of DXD, where lots of things are the same and lots of things are different. Join me and Ichigo in the journey as we look at the journey of the protagonist that has become literal god, gaining divinity, making him a god. What adventures await him? You should come with me and we should find out together. Also, the start may be slow to some people, but it's necessary for world building.
But is it, though?
Probably not. It's a completed story at 15 chapters and 36k words. That's an interesting opinion, author. Also a terrible summary. So we're just gonna meander our way to a different section.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find a story we can actually fucking read tonight.
Maybe one day we'll find a story that doesn't make everyone want to fucking die.
I think this stream was finding stories that make people want to die.
Not technically. We are just reading the front page. It just so happens that a majority of stories posted make you want to die. It is a side effect that is not intended. Pinion. Tale after tale is told about Brockton Bay, but Earth Bet is much larger than Brockton Bay. Yes, but Brockton Bay is the setting of, like, the first 2 arcs, so...
And then the setting of a few later arcs.
Yeah. And where the main character lives for a majority of the story. So, you know, it's understandable that when it's a Superman story, it's taking place in Metropolis. When it's a Batman story, it's taking place in Gotham City. When it's a Worm story, it takes place in Brockton Bay. And, yeah, that's kind of why, it stays there typically when people write stories about Worm. Because the main character's there. And that's where all the plot is.
You might say it's where everything happens.
Yeah, actually, and the author, in a moment of, I would say semi-lucidity, the author actually went out of his way to say that, like, the reason why that what's going on in Brockton Bay is legitimate is because Brockton Bay is like this crazy fucking madhouse that's purposely being performed by the Illuminati. And that literally everywhere else in the U.S. is, you know, aside from Slaughterhouse 9 attacks, literally everyone else in the U.S. sees like a villain a month. While Brockton Bay sees like 28 a day. The author canonized that. Quite literally, Brockton Bay is where the things happen, according to author's canon.
Something something cauldron plot, something something Contessa.
Yeah, effectively. We have leaders of PRT teams across the U.S., but so many cities are practically unknown about. Not really. I mean, it was specifically outlined that triggers are pretty rare outside of Brockton Bay. Like, really rare. And so, shit doesn't really... Like, a town... A normal town, in Wild Bo's words, I remember from one of his forum posts, a normal town would have maybe one villain in it, and maybe one hero.
I seem to recall him saying third world countries like Africa had a huge number of parahumans.
Oh, yes. But we're talking about the USA.
They're child soldiers, Snake.
Snake! Boss,
Snake,
what are you doing? They're children! That's why you're the best, boss.
Snake, we have to kill these parahumans. They're popping up everywhere. Do we have any information on them? No, but you're going over there to scout them out. Oh my god, they're all children. Well, you gave me a mission. Wait,
What?
Snake, no.
Snake! Snake!
Snake!
Snake! Why did you kill all those children? I needed my S rank.
Yes.
I wasn't gonna get my SS rank without it.
No, it says SSS rank.
Of course.
Triple S.
Yes.
I need my perfect rank.
I need my perfect score, and the murder of children is the only way to glitch through the level.
It's okay. It's okay. I shot them with tranquilizers.
Yeah, I shot them high speed with a tranquilizer dart. I'm sure their arteries are fine, and I'm sure the horse tranquilizer that's gonna knock them out for a while is gonna be completely fine and have no side effects.
Don't worry, I beat them up with CQB. They're fine, they're just unconscious.
They're
Internal bleeding, he'll walk it
fine.
off.
I
And then
mean,
I beat
some
them
of
with a
those
full-
fucking takeouts are just like, dude, that guy not only has a concussion, he has like a hyper concussion and a fractured skull.
Well,
That guy's fucking dead.
Don't forget, there are several throat punches and sternum chops.
Yeah, like those guys are just dead.
My
And if
man's
your
dead.
CQC didn't kill them, that balloon sure as hell did.
Thank you, boss. Can I have another?
Thank you, boss. Please hit me again, sir.
You feel kind of weird walking around the base and doing it and getting thanked for that shit. It's like, no, I don't think I'll be doing that anymore.
I found that amusing because they were trying to phrase it as like, oh, you know, this is surprise training by the boss. The boss has specifically targeted me for surprise training.
In reality, the boss just pressed the wrong fucking button again.
Yeah. Yeah. But someone who is freshly triggered with powers that leave people wanting her dead, and you have a recipe for disaster. All right, author. What's her powers that want to make people kill her? Relief shattered, shrieks of terror, everyone's scared, blah blah blah, locks behind me. Officer hit the pavement, clawing along it, backing away from me. I looked down on myself, I felt a rock drop. Beneath my blue jeans, I became a porcelain white doll.
You what?
What does that mean?
My skin turned into porcelain. I looked at my arm, which was sore from the officer. It was stained white. I began to feel a knot in the center of my chest. Something shifted on my back. I craned my head to look. Didn't have to look far. Oh, I had wings growing from my back, and there was 3 sticking out. I could feel a 4th pair.
Oh, she became a smurf.
Oh, no, she literally became a mini smurg.
Yeah, that would scare people.
Yeah.
Directly to jail, author. Do not use dragons in this context. Be gone.
What?
Smurg? Oh, I thought you said smog. My bad. Ignore me for now. Thank you.
Yeah.
I heard wrong.
Everyone would think I was a smurg. So she triggers, doesn't realize she triggers, and then she realizes that she did trigger, and she turns into the smurg in response to someone gripping her wrist really hard.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming this is Taylor, right?
No, random or generic OC.
Okay, well, I guess random generic OC is like a 3rd or 4th generation parahuman, then if that's all it took.
Yeah, right. I screamed and covered my mouth, realizing just what that would be like. What really do you? Do you realize what that would be like?
Smurg scream, that's a thing she does.
Oh, I'm aware. My point is there is literally no proof she is the Smurg, though.
Yeah, but people are fucking dumb.
That's best, you know, that's fair. Upon touching my face, I realized I couldn't feel any lips on my face. And I ran my hand across my face, and my mouth was gone, yet for some reason I could still scream. And my wings kept growing, and I was more aware of them, and I tried to flare them. They moved instantly, and I flapped them, bringing myself up off the ground. I didn't say a word to the officer. I tried flying. And then I flew off towards the Gulf of Mexico. And okay, so you're gonna fucking fly past where Mr. Wonder Kid is, okay? Interesting. Shoot me, blow a sniper, or wouldn't miss. That's a weird thought to have, because no one's supposed to have those thoughts. I figure, blah blah blah, Cape's misery. I was expecting to be losing altitude as I lost sight of the shore. My wings retreated into me. Oh, and then she turns into, Leviathan? So anyway, her wings get smaller, she begins to scramble, flapping them more frantically, leaving her with only 2 wings, which seemed to be enough to keep me out of the water. I was more worried about being drowned than shot at this point. Eidolon shows up. He then states out loud, "You're the Smurg," and I nod.
Why have I come back to a story about the Smurg?
Why would you know that?
Discount Smurg.
Just a random person, just, hey, you're the Smurg. Oh, you're right. Yep, I am.
I'm worried about.
Hey, you're the world-ending calamity, aren't you? Yes, I am.
Yeah, except this is a teenage girl that just grew wings and porcelain face.
Who was worried about people confusing her for the Smurg, so she answers, "Yes, I am," for some.
Yeah,
she's
so worried about people confusing her as the Smurg that when people say, "Are you the Smurg?" she answers, "Yes."
I think she's confused herself.
Yeah.
She's just been drinking that dumb bitch juice.
It would be funny if Taylor turned into one of the non-original 3 Endbringers. I mean, that's actually a whole thing on Space Battles. It's called, like, the Kansu Tales or some shit. It's alright. Honestly, the Endbringers are possibly the worst part of the story. Like, even Scion being, like, uber dipshit tier powerful, like, that is not as great of a sin in the story as the Endbringers existing. Because the Endbringers, in the author's own words, are all powerful enough to blow up the sun from their position on the Earth.
I seem to recall that is their method of getting rid of a inconvenient universe when they leave it.
Solar system, but yes.
Solar system, excuse me.
The solar system inconveniences me. Boom!
Yeah.
Don't miss.
So quite literally, all 3 of the original Endbringers, and obviously all the rest of them, supposedly, but the 3 originals all have enough power, but they're sandbagging so hard that without leaving the planet, they're all capable of causing the sun to enter a cascade failure.
No, I don't think that's the Endbringers. I think that's just the entities.
Nope, that's the Endbringers. He specified the Endbringers because someone was like, could Superman beat up an Endbringer? And he was like, well, Superman can't blow up the sun, so the Endbringers are more powerful than him.
That just sounds like author wank.
Yeah. So, in other news, Wombo's fucking retarded.
I'm sorry, I love that. He can't blow it. It's like, no, he chooses not to because it's his current power source. Also, he still has things on the Earth that he likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it turns out, the man who wants to protect the Earth doesn't blow up the fucking sun. You hack author.
Yeah.
Boy, I really want to protect the Earth. That sun's gotta fucking go, though.
Getting too much UV rays here.
I feel like the best way you can tell how much of a hack an author is how much they fucking despise Superman.
But yeah, so anyway, that's his power level of his Endbringers, is that they're actually all super sandbagging super hard.
Okay, but I do want to say, like, authors who hate Superman aren't necessarily hacks. There are very legitimate reasons to hate Superman.
No, I was saying how much they hate it.
Oh, okay.
Personally, yes. I would say any author that hates Superman doesn't understand Superman.
This is also true.
And therefore...
Like, here's the thing. I understand Superman has some very, very...
Okay, here's what I'll say. It's really dependent on the run of Superman you read as a kid.
This is true.
Okay, yes, this is true. However, I'm not talking about the addition of Superman. I'm talking about the overall conceptual theme of Superman and the point of Superman's story.
Okay, got it.
Any author that hates that doesn't understand Superman's story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Understanding Superman is actually super easy. You just have to not be up your own ass.
I mean, that being said, some of the best Superman stuff does come from when Superman is not being Superman, but...
Yes, but that also comes from authors who fundamentally understand the point of Superman's story.
Yeah.
So authors that don't suck.
Yes.
Or at least suck less.
Yes.
Fuck you, Garth Ennis.
And then he says, "No, you aren't the Smurg," and then she nods. I'm going to assume you're just a new cape then. This is not the Smurg. They are capable of communication. I am going to interrogate them. Everyone should stand down. I grew more nervous and more wings grew from my back. Okay, so...
Alright, so we're approaching do not be afraid levels.
The more afraid she gets, the more Smurg she becomes. Interesting.
You know, I was always disappointed one of the Endbringers wasn't just an angel. Like, an actual biblical angel.
She's just straight up becoming a biblical angel? What the fuck? So, hold on.
Is she just gonna turn into a giant eye?
News crews, blah, blah, blah. Can you speak? I think I can, yes. The knot was so tight inside me, I felt I was about to burst. I looked at my back, barely noting that my arms were now gone, and that I only had massive wings growing from my back now. So, quite literally, she's losing limbs and is becoming a mass of wings.
So,
Alright, so we are going full biblical angel. Interesting.
Yep. Do you have a name? No, this just happened. Again. So yeah, Max has got to be spot on with this. Like, she has to be like a 5th generation trigger for her to trigger this violently with this a violent physical mutation to someone holding her wrist.
Oh, no. Remember, fucking dead shards are a thing.
Yes, but she can't trigger with a dead shard unless she drinks a vial, which she didn't.
At least not so far as we've been informed in Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, that's fair, but you would have thought there would be some sort of inclusion of that information, because everyone's acting really super shocked. You know, a policeman was holding her down, and her mom's running away from her now. You would think there'd be something like, oh yeah, the vial slipped out of my hand, you know, the glass on the ground, literally any sort of mention of a vial.
Oh no, I was saying that on your side, Sneaky.
What do you mean?
I mean, this hasn't been mentioned in the chapter so far, so there's no vial.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You were refuting Sign, and I was saying that.
Okay, you're supporting me. Yeah.
In support
yeah.
of your statement.
Author could just be retarded.
Author is retarded, and unfortunately, this is
counterpoint. So could you?
Well, yes.
Counterpoint what?
But, however, unfortunately, a lot of worm authors are retarded. There is a very clear-cut system. The author, as dumb as Wildbow is, and as barely as he pays attention to his own fucking system as he does have a system, and he has outlined how you get powers and how you get what powers. For example, if you have a long-term stressor about, I don't know, the fire hazards of your house, you might turn into, and a fire finally breaks out or something, you might turn into a tinker that is capable of, you know, shooting ice or some shit. Probably not. You would probably end up as some sort of like blaster or shaker. But tinkers trigger from stress, long-term stress. And another key part about powers is that they're supposed to solve the immediate problem, but they're supposed to make the overall problem continually worse. He shows this off by Taylor's power being that she needs friends. So what does her powers do? She gets a lot of friends in the form of bugs that can't rebel against her. So now she has tons of friends. Which, yes, technically does solve the immediate issue of her not liking the bugs because she can't control them all around her. This does not fix the problem of, people not wanting to be near her, or, the fact that she's in a fucking locker filled with rotting blood. It just fixed the problem where she now can control all the bugs that are surrounding her. So that's an example of that. Another example would be Burn Scar. Burn Scar was in a giant fire, and so what did her powers do? They gave her the ability to control fire and turn into fire. Slight problem with this is when she turns into fire, she gets the urge to set things on fire. Yeah. So powers technically solve the problem of she's no longer going to die to the giant fire. Did not solve the problem of the ongoing trauma of the giant fire now being her. And it just goes on and on like that, where the power is supposed to be part of the trauma. And these people are like, oh yeah, my OC, policeman yelled at them, and now they're a god tinker with angel wings. It's like, that's not how that worked. And it's look, I'm gonna be super lenient because the system's pretty stupid, and trying to figure out like the perfect scenario to put your character in so you can get the cool power you want to write the story about. As long as you try, I don't mind it, It's like, oh, you're at a mall and some villain shows up and throws bombs around, and like a piece of cement from the upper floor falls down on you and you trigger, and now you're the Incredible Hulk. I'm not gonna spit too much, It's like, all right, fine, big strong dumb guy now, and you can throw the cement off you. Okay, yeah, sure. It fits the idea. That's at least what I'm trying to say, Don't give me this shit of like, oh, someone was yelling at her for something, and now she's turned into a biblical angel. It's like, what? Like, they didn't even wound her? Like, that's the other thing, is typically your powers will do something to your body when your body is injured. Like, I believe it was Aegis who got his powers from having a critical injury, and as he was dying, his powers were like, well, if you need lungs to breathe oxygen and you don't got lungs anymore, then just use your stomach.
I mean, it works.
For Aegis. But yes, that's the point, though, is like, it's like, okay, that's sort of cool, makes sense enough, suspension of disbelief satisfied. Yeah, someone yelled at me, now I have the ability to scream sonically into everyone's ears. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, oh yeah, some police officer was mean to me, now I'm a biblical angel that everyone thinks is the Smurg. What? Like, damn, did he, like, beat the shit out of you and cover you in tar and light you on fire or something before that? Damn.
You know what? That'll be the flashback in 3 chapters.
No, of course, yes. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. I'm afraid, my appearance, blah, blah, blah. You look different enough without a face to be mistaken for the Smurg. Your wings are uniform as well, as opposed to her scattered ones. No one that has ever seen her would mistake her for you. I know it's overwhelming right now. You should go be a hero. Come with me, blah, blah, blah. So I go with him. I feel like a kid again. Blah, blah, blah. Found you here, where everything. Signed the worst. My name's Oregon, blah, blah, blah. Blah. No police, blah. Let's get you something to wear.
This author's got to be fairly young.
Yeah.
Like with the way they're writing this and the trigger point here and all this, like this has to be a very young author who.
Alright, so yeah, I guess this is the flashback where she was running away, and then 2 women found her, and then they were like, oh, come with us, and then an officer shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also, my mom hates me. Yeah. I think the author might be a little bit young. Yeah, uh-huh, nihil, nothing. Yeah, I think this might be an author that is currently entering their teenage years and has discovered the power of being edgy. And nobody understands me. Crawling in my skin.
Crawling in my crawl.
Can you stop being consumed by the darkness for like 2 seconds and focus on the matter of hand, please?
No.
Well, okay then.
The real question is, do you attack the darkness?
Obviously.
Fucking roll for it.
Well, hang on. Let's see what it has to offer first.
Yeah, wait a minute. I would like to try and seduce the darkness.
All right, what part of the darkness?
The darkness.
The part
knows
that
I
looks
cast
like
magic
the ice.
missile at the darkness.
Yes, indeed.
All right, fucking roll for it. I don't fucking.
Here we go.
You don't roll magic missile. You don't roll. You roll damage.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, that's the point. You just roll damage on magic missile.
Yeah.
I thought you were rolling charisma. All right, fine. Just fucking.
No, I'm
all
rolling
right.
charisma. He's just going magic missile.
Well, I understand you're casting charisma. I was saying you do it first, and then you can cast magic missile. Is this how this works?
Charisma.
Order of operations.
Yes, I am casting my charisma now.
I cast modify memory at 9th level, and I go back 100 years in time and convince the darkness that I am its friend.
Indeed.
When the fuck did you get that scroll? You're level 3.
Anyway, so
you
Spirit
shouldn't
of
have let me take 20 on
Sisterhood.
the magic device check.
Also true. Spirit of Sisterhood. Samantha Sam Herbert has a difficult time balancing her lives ever since her mother died and she triggered. As a ward, she is frustrated at how little she can do, but it only gets more complicated when her sister Taylor triggers, and Sam has to figure out what kind of hero they're going to be. That's right, everyone. This is older sister OC self-insert. I'm gonna fix Worm.
You don't fix Worm?
I'm sorry. If the first action here is not to murder Sophia Hess for causing a trigger in her younger sibling, author has already failed at that point.
Yes.
Because as we've seen with AA Bears, they're something of a ride-or-die family as long as they're not going through traumatic experiences and coping with loss.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I still think my story was apparently perfectly justified, and so do the moderators, because it's still up and I haven't been banned. That story I posted way long ago, where I had my character beat the shit out of Sophia because he was selling drugs in the school basement, and Sophia just beat up the head of HR's daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, you can imagine why a character currently selling drugs out of a school basement might, not be enthusiastic about this development.
Gee, I wonder.
One of the main characters of Wild Bo's latest stories has a major character development moment. Someone said a slur to her and she didn't react. The main character was literally just Sophia Hess in a different setting, but even angrier.
What the fuck? Oh,
yeah,
God.
Wild Bo's still writing stories, and none of them are fucking good.
Well, no. No, they're not.
A Darker Path by Ack. Oh, Ack.
Pretty good. Sometimes.
Well, the thing is that Ack, when he's posting on literally any website besides AO3, perfectly fine stories. Ack, when he's posting on AO3, he's just posting just like Taylor times her father times Sophia torture porn. Oh yeah, if you don't believe me, go ahead and check out Ack on AO3. It's just like dozens of stories about Taylor and her father having sex, and sometimes they like torture Sophia into being a ×4 amputee pet for them to have sex with too. And
please shut up.
Yeah, it's
for the timing and route.
I remember when Ack was a go-to reference for you, Sneaky.
He was for a very long time. Then I found out he had an AO3 channel, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Dear God!"
I mean, that doesn't make the rest of his stuff bad.
And it doesn't, but it is just like it's like if you knew an actor, and they were a good actor. Except you also knew that before this, they did a lot of porn. A lot of really shitty porn.
Yeah, you'd only ever see the porn.
Yeah. It's like, they're great. I'm sure they're a great actor, but every time I see them on screen, I just get reminded of all the Alabama porn they did.
Speaking of Sasha Grey, isn't she doing something like that along those lines these days?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yes, Underplayed. Yeah, it's very interesting how Wild Bo keeps writing people of melanin to be very angry and aggressive and constantly destroying property. Yes, Wild Bo has a very interesting idea of how to represent different demographics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah.
Really? Wow, there's some self-restraint from you.
Wow.
Okay.
Speaking of things that need self-restraint, fools. I have lost count how many times I have ended up in this. I have wanted to make my Worm fanfic CYOA version 3 jump chain.
That is not in that summary.
I'm sorry, what?
I have heard many accursed phrases today.
That is the summary.
No. Oh my God, it is.
That is only that is all that's in the summary, actually.
That is the summary.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
386 words, one chapter, one follow.
Yeah, that is like peak jump chain too. It's I'm gonna write a jump chain with worm guys, 386 words long. My name is Jamie James Nathaniel. It does not roll off the tongue, and I got a bottle of Mountain Dew and double-decker Chessburger. That's right, I have a Chessburger. I don't know how punctuation works either. Did I mention I'm 4,000 pounds? Well, I'm mentioning it now. And then I got a notification. Now I'm checking my emails. Then I opened my emails and I looked in my emails and there was a CYOA in my emails. And I had nothing better to do, so I filled out the CYOA as I continued to eat my double-decker cheeseburger, which is for some reason separated into separate words and I don't know how to write. And then I started feeling chest pains and then I died. And now I'm in Brockton Bay, and my CYOA was correct. And, what?
I would just like to see one of these worm CYOAs.
Yeah.
I want it to be 400 words.
Yeah.
Because the author went the comedy route and pissed off the wrong gang member.
That'd be funny.
Like, oh, wow, I did 400 words, completed the story, huh? I wonder what happened. Ah, yes, that explains.
Oh, they fucking died.
They went to the wrong side of town for the drug dealing.
Well, alternately, they went to the right side and then didn't know how to do it.
So
this thing is gonna be
difficulty
taking the
God
piss.
mode, and he's got mad talent, and he's a twin hero, and he's a special snowflake, and he's got all the superpowers, and everyone hates him.
Yeah, it's gotta be taking the piss.
Learn to punctuate. And that's my review. That's all I have to say. Yeah.
I'm sorry, quick aside. I sure do love people who talk shit about game optimization who don't understand what that actually entails as far as textures and whatnot goes.
Oh?
Oh yeah, one of my friends is just now learning that average file size for games is like 60 to 100 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And he's claiming that certain games with rather astoundingly high polygon counts do not warrant the file size because he's a fucking moron. And I get tired of explaining this shit to him.
Wait.
The better it looks, the bigger it is.
What? Wait, so he's saying that games that have a very high polygon count textures shouldn't be as big as they are?
His favorite game to pick on is FF15, large
Right.
file size.
Yeah.
The hairstyle of one of the characters is literally twice the polygon count of FF13 characters.
Okay.
Oh, look, that hair's super detailed, man.
Yeah, it is. But according to him, the textures don't warrant the file size. It's like, that's not how this works.
The textures don't warrant the file size. Yeah. Okay.
Your friend's a moron.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He's
one of the people.
The resignation.
He's one of the people that tried to argue that the PS4 objectively ran games better than the PS4 Pro. Not understanding that running a game at 4K 30 FPS is objectively more impressive than 1080 60 from a spec standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Personally, I feel that if you're gonna use a subjective standard, if you're gonna use the standard of is the gameplay smooth, I find the answer to that question to be more important than does it look good?
I mean, that's a fair statement, but
yeah,
the PS4 Pro had performance mode in which you would get something that ran even better than the PS4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you ran them 1-for-1 at the same resolution, PS4 Pro blew the shit out of the PS4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I seem to recall playing on 4K. It was kind of laggy, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that's if you played on 4K. Like,
Depends on the game as well.
That too, yeah.
A lot of the games had to be patched up to run that smoothly at 4K.
Yeah, it was all upscaling and bullshit like that, right?
Yeah. So some of the games they went back and patched them so they could run on the PS4 Pro, and other games like, it was like the PS4 Pro's upscaling handle it because we're on to other projects right now. So it's fun having tech illiterate friends. I enjoy it so much. It doesn't kill my soul inside a little every time they open their uneducated mouths.
It's gonna be even worse now with the unveiling of Unreal Tournament, not Unreal Tournament, Unreal Engine.
UE.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to all the shit they're putting out with that. Oh god.
Yeah, holy shit. Some of the fucking advances they're doing.
The stuff they're doing, like I've been abreast of some of these advances over the last 2 to 3 years. Unreal Engine 5 is just making it super like accessible as well as faster. Like some of the stuff you've been sending me, Sneaky, we've had for at least 2 years, but it's never been on a level where you would boast about it the way Epic has been.
Oh, yeah.
My problem is I don't see anyone actually taking advantage of UE5 on this current gen of consoles.
Oh, yeah, no, of course not.
I don't think the current gen of consoles can handle what UE5 can push.
Oh god,
personally.
no.
Maybe on a small scale? Wouldn't some of the tech demos done on a PS5?
I'm not sure, actually.
Like, I could have sworn I've heard tech demos of a 5 on current gen tech, and it's just we've changed the engine, and it's so optimized it runs like fucking butter.
Now, that is true. The 5.1 did optimize a lot of shit that does actually make it capable of running on current consoles. In fact, it optimized it to the point that the current consoles are actually capable of being used as editing platforms.
What?
Yeah,
that was another thing.
That was a big announcement, is that with the unveiling of 5.1 Unreal Engine, they're also unveiling the Forge mode for Fortnite, where you can now use the Unreal 5.1 engine to create your own Fortnite maps and games in similar style to Roblox.
Yeah.
Huh.
The first time I heard about that, it was coworkers watching a video, and the title was Fortnite Creative 2.0 is going to change gaming forever. I'm watching it, and they're explaining to me. It's like, oh, so Epic finally caught up to the Source Engine and Gmod.
Yeah.
So
but no, it's going to change gaming forever.
I'm just like, these fucking Fortnite players are idiots. It's called Gmod. It's $5 on a good sale. But
yeah,
it is
Fortnite players.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. It's like it's not just called Gmod. It's called RPG Maker. It's called, it's the Steam platform in general. Like, there
are several games and game engines that have been plug and play with assets from all over the place.
Yeah, it's not gonna change gaming forever.
I just went for Gmod because it's the immediate one of like this Source Engine all works in Gmod. People found ways to take models and objects from other games and convert them to the Source Engine for Gmod. Like,
right, I know what you're saying, but I was just saying it's like it's. I was talking more about the comment of like it's gonna change gaming forever. It's like, no, it's fucking not. There has been Halo 3 Forge mode, like, holy shit,
changed multiplayer maps.
Yeah, so and not only that, actually, Halo Infinity Forge mode is apparently gonna be doing almost near the same thing. They're gonna add scripting capabilities to the game.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so you can also add new weapons into your Forge map. You can add new vehicles.
Just don't add too much better and get banned.
Mode, so just
new
do it
models,
yourselves, you fucking pricks.
Effectively. Well, I mean, that's what Forge mode was always supposed to be. It's just like, hey guys, so we're just going to give you the dev tools and just go ahead and make what you want.
Yep.
I mean, personally, I still think they need to add those game modes into playable lists because that's the only way the people are going to play them.
Excuse fucking you?
Don't you remember what happened with Reach and 3? They used to put like fucking Forge maps in rotation.
Yeah. After a long period of time, and I never played them. I
played them a bunch.
I played private lobby Forge games all the way through Reach. I never joined general matchmaking.
I guess I was the weirdo who liked the attack defense mode, so I joined matchmaking all the time.
Invasion was fun.
I mean, I just did a lot of private games. I barely ever did matchmaking in Halo. A majority of the time was doing private games with a group of friends at school. Because that was just what you did back then. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
But, man, fucking Fortnite players, they think they're the hot shit. No one's ever done this before except for, like, literally everyone.
They're Zoomers, Sneaky.
Yeah, I know. But either way, what I actually want to see is I actually want to see people use the Forge engine to animate.
People use the Source engine to animate.
Forge.
The Forge
knows.
Use the Forge nose.
I would also like
Turn
to see...
thine ears on.
Yeah. I would also like to see people use the Unreal Engine to animate, because I think the Unreal Engine offers some massive animation capabilities between auto-animating movements, sort of like what Flash did back in the day, where you can put a character in two different positions and just be like, all right, well, animate what's the most sensible way this character's skeleton would move. And it just does it. And then it gives you a frame by frame that you can then edit. So if you don't like how the auto comes out, then you can just change it.
AI animation with UE5 coming soon.
Yeah, quite literally. Other shit like that. This is something that would be amazing for animation. UE5's physics break engine, where you just program the environment to have threshold levels of physics, and then as characters are like running around shooting each other, it would automatically in the background have stuff break as bullets are impacting and they're throwing grenades and all. Like you wouldn't have to manually animate it. You would just have to say, here's a grenade, here's its AoE, here's how much physics damage it does, and then you would say the environment has this level of threshold, you know, this chair has this level of threshold, you know, these blocks have this level of threshold, the walls have this level of threshold, and then as you're going and you're saying, all right, so character throws grenade, grenade lands, grenade explodes, UE5's engine just automatically animates the physics of what would happen if the grenade that does that much physics damage explodes with those objects around it. You wouldn't have to animate any of that. It just does it for you.
Automatically does it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you could have these big scenes where your main focus is these two characters fighting, but as long as you basically set up the playpen that they're fighting in beforehand, you just get free environmental destruction animation done for you.
Neat.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm really hoping someone animates in UE5. Like, Ruby.
Someone is likely working on that now. Like, it's a really good time for 3D animators right now with the shit that people are pushing in Blender 2.8 and Onwards.
Well, I mean,
Epic unveiling all the shit and.
Yeah, especially with how UE5 can just import anything from like a lot of those modeling programs now.
Yeah, dude, some of the shit you were showing me with Unity a couple months back,
Yeah.
like some of the breakthroughs they've made in their texturing and shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers.
Oh yeah. And it's crazy, and it's just like another great part about it is like clothing on characters. Again, you can set the weight on the clothing, you can set damage thresholds on the clothing, you can do a whole bunch of shit to the clothing, and then you can say, okay, so the character with this skeleton will walk like this normally, and then you put a bunch of rocks in their way and, you know, varying heights, and maybe they're on an uneven surface, and then you tell the engine, I want this character with these parameters to walk up this hill. And it will auto-animate everything from foot placement to the uneven surfaces to their clothes rustling and shifting, and you can be like, all right, I also want wind of this speed to come in this direction, and it'll animate the auto-animate the fucking clothes rustling from the wind too, and their hair rustling and shit like that. Like, it does all of that automatically once you set the parameters. It's gonna be fucking wild once people start actually realizing what the engine is capable of.
Well, and then was it NVIDIA? What was it that showed off the motion capture with a fucking cell phone?
That was also UE. Yeah, that was UE's motion capture to facial animation studio.
Yeah, the impressive part about that is, like, there have been mobile setups for a minute. That was the quickest I think I've ever seen it done as far as automatically modeling the actress and texturing it as well.
Yeah.
It was still Uncanny Valley, though, because they're never going to be able to 100% capture that. There's all these weird little...
Well, I mean, it didn't help that she was overemphasizing her face.
Well, yeah, no, it doesn't, but there's just all these little details in the face that we still can't really capture.
Sure,
like
but
body language.
This is Gen 1, right?
Yeah, this is Gen 1. This is their initial unveiling of it.
This is more like Gen 5 or 6.
It's literally Gen 5.1.
No, we're talking about that. We're talking about their face capture.
Yeah, the face cap. Like,
okay, the face cap.
Generation. This is.
No,
this is us being 2 steps from what we're trying to achieve.
As far as I'm aware, there has never been facial animation native to the UE engine in terms of face capture. So as far as I'm concerned, this is basically Gen 1. Now, they might have been basing this off of other side programs they've been using.
I'm looking at this as facial capture overall.
Oh, okay,
There were plugins
Yeah.
for UE4 that some people figured out using very expensive mocap software for face stuff.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Is like this is basically UE's attempt. What, 4 stuff? Yeah, it all transfers to 5.
Yeah, and so it, as you said, like this is their in-house attempt at it.
Yeah. Which in-house attempts are going to almost always be universally better than any external house attempt, because I'm sorry, it's just they just have access to the code. They've been working with the code longer than literally anyone else. They're just going to usually do it better.
Usually, unless they get lazy and complacent.
Yes, generally speaking, the people who have access to the code are going to make the people who made the code are going to make a superior product to someone who just has access to the code.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yes, as we said, generally, right? It's like when some guy on Patreon makes a source film film in the source engine versus when like a Valve dev sits down and does it and does the same thing 3 times better in a quarter of the time by just slapping every hotkey.
True. Yeah, basically.
If you haven't watched the footage of Valve devs using like the source film editor, oh my god, it's wild.
It's pretty funny, actually.
I mean, I'm not sure about that argument solely because Valve releases like everything to the audience, so eventually there will be community members that will be better than them.
Yes, okay, that's fair. Yeah.
It's not the best example because Valve was like, "Hey guys, have fun," and we've seen what happens when the community has fun and fucking commits to the tools.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
But
I would have said maybe use Bethesda, but I'm not really sure they would count either.
now,
Bethesda can't even handle their own code.
I'm sure Sign can actually correct me if I get this wrong. But I believe people were so horny for a certain character. I forget from what series it was.
Are you talking about the Blender animation breakthroughs?
Yes, the Blender animation breakthroughs.
Oh,
that was Elizabeth,
that was
yes.
Bioshock from Elizabeth.
Bioshock, yes.
Bioshock.
What?
Yeah, so Bioshock Infinite, the character Elizabeth,
People were very horny on me.
People were so horny for her that the entire way Blender renders and animates inside its program was changed and had multiple breakthroughs due to people being so horny on main to watch porn of her.
And then 2B, when Mirror came out, took it to the next level.
Yeah.
I see.
Gotta animate that 2 booty.
Indeed.
It's because Yoko Taro was a madman who was working with mad people.
Yoko Taro was just like, I want it bigger.
Yoko Taro is somehow both entirely serious and 100% of a shitpost.
I also saw recently someone was trying to moralize and grandstand about that people shouldn't masturbate to characters from Nier because you have to ask them for permission.
Consent! No, was that post I linked yesterday, Sneaky from Rev.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I just remember Yoko Taro. Can y'all send me a folder with all the porn?
Yeah, Yoko Taro was like, I just want all of the porn. Give me a weekly dump. And B, it's like, I'm sorry, you're talking about getting consent from the androids from Nier. The sheer idea that you would masturbate to the image of one of them would probably kill them from the sheer euphoria that would inject into their systems.
Or alternately, they would murder you violently for daring to look at them.
As a human?
Wasn't there the one that hated people? Like it went crazy and hated
betrayed,
people?
And she was just edgy as shit.
Oh, okay.
Every other android loved humanity.
No, I know. All the other androids loved humanity. I knew there was one crazy one.
And it's not so much that you would be murdered for being a human. It's that they hate A2 specifically, for example, hated that they were using humans as an excuse for the orders they were getting, with no proof that the humans were the ones giving the orders.
No, it was A2 found out that the humans are dead,
right,
so she's like, yeah, no, you're full of shit.
Well, I mean, that's basically what I'm saying, but yes, she also did the whole finding out that the group that's supposedly giving the orders is dead.
Yeah.
Not the best thing from her.
But originally she was angry over the whole "trust me, bro, the humans told me to tell you, go do this," and then she was like, "Wait, the whole fucking human race is dead, you bastards."
Yeah, but I think if she actually came across a real human, she'd change her tune and be...
well, no fucking shit, absolutely she would change her tune. The whole point is that the humans are dead, so she doesn't need to listen to whatever any of the androids say, because, well, only the humans can give her orders.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my point, though. It's just like, yeah, the Nier android is going to be angry over the idea of a human finding them attractive. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Well, even besides that point, I've never said it. It's a stupid fucking argument.
Yeah.
They are not a real thing.
Yeah.
They do not exist.
Yeah.
Therefore, they cannot consent. Therefore, rules of consent do not apply to them. They cannot be raped, etc., and so forth.
That is a dumb sign.
Yeah, Sign just took it and went with it and took it to the 8 Mile Island.
Ran with the scissors.
Yeah.
My man just picked up the stupid ball and said, "This is mine forever."
Anyway, so he took the super glue and slapped that shit right on his mouth. Anyway, so you know what?
More like shoved it permanently up his nose.
We will see everyone on Friday because unfortunately there is always more, and it does always get worse.